How is everyone doing today? Ha ha ha. Hope everybody's doing great. I myself am doing just peachy keen. Morning, Mr. Steve, and Mr. Christopher. Morning, Michael. Christopher, do you actually go by Christopher? Or do you go by Chris? Sure, all your family calls you Chris. You think Christopher sounds more sophisticated than Chris? These are all questions inquiring minds are wanting to know. But good morning, either way. So, let's see here. I got a new knife in yesterday, and that was the new Rosie XL from Lemifshi, and it is excellent. I've made some observations about this knife, along with realizing that it feels and sounds like no other knife. I got home and I was curious, and I wanted to check and see if it felt just like my old XL. And I got it out and it feels very similar. Makes the same kind of sound. I'm convinced that it feels different because of the two detent balls that these have in them. And when you open it, it's sliding on those two balls, so it kind of spreads out the force. I don't know, it just feels different. Makes a great sound. Lockup is great. And what did you find, mister? Oh, you made some STLs? Oh, you found some STL files. Yeah, I've got an external hard drive that I ran across not long ago that has about 300 gigs of STL files for all kinds of paid models from they're mostly like Marvel stuff and all the figurines and but you found your Grail STLs. That's cool. I ran across, like 300 gigs worth. I can't think of the websites right now where they have all the nice paid models, but I've got a bunch of them. Of course, I don't have any airplane stuff or what you're looking for. But yeah, these Rosie XLs are something special. And they made me realize something else about yes, Nick, I can open all knives without my wrist. You asked me that last time. Yeah, I can. There's not a single knife I own that I can't, unless it's a button. Well, unless it's an automatic. I just always use a little wrist because that's just natural. How when you're reaching for a knife, you just kind of go. It's all good, Nick, but it's just, you've asked me that twice last videos. Yes, I can do it with this finger without any wrist. I can do it with my middle finger, not any wrist. I can do it with my pointer finger, not any wrist. But yeah, these knives, I noticed something I've not noticed on any other knife. So when you normally open a knife, you have to reposition your hand to grip it correctly. And I think something that's so great about these Rosies, and what made me realize this about this knife, is this milling pattern. And I wondered if it had any kind of significance. Well, I think it might. And it leads into the it leads into what I'm talking about this knife. So if I'm holding this knife comfortably in my hand, I don't have any that require any wrist. Nick, can you think of one unless it doesn't have a proper way to open it, and it's like real hard to. But anyway, when you're holding this knife comfortably in your hand, getting ready to open it, when you flick it open, you're in the grip already. You don't have to reposition your hand at all. All you have to do is open it and grip. So these Rosies are very comfortable that way. A lot of other knives, you have to like shift a little bit to get into the grip. But I noticed with this one, you can open it and you're right there in the grip, which is pretty awesome. Something else I noticed is that when you're in this grip, the part where your fingers touch is all right over here, and all the rest of this is where your palm touches. So where he has it milled is kind of where your fingers are going to live while they're around the knife. And the part that's not got a texture is where your palm lives. So I don't know. That's two things I noticed about this knife. When you open it, you're automatically right there in position. And when you're in position and this milling pattern here, all this part right here is where your palm hits. And the rest of it is where your fingers kind of go when you're unlocking it, when you're. So that was pretty neat. All around pattern. Nick, the only time I can think of a knife that has to have wrist is like when you've got one that might have a thumb stud like too close to the scales and you can't get enough leverage, and like some knives aren't made to reverse flick, so the thumb stud will be too close on the backside. I can't think of one offhand though that I couldn't open with just a flick. Like I would get kind of mad if. But I had that in the front pocket, and of course this didn't make it. I didn't make it 2 days in a row without this knife. I've gotten addicted to this thing, and no, none of them really need assistance. It's just natural for me to just kind of. I mean, that's just what's comfortable. It's all good, Nick. I wish you could tell me a knife that you have a problem opening without using your wrist. I'd like to check it out. Good morning, TC. Yeah, I couldn't make it more than 2 days without this. You're in between glove sizes. Okay, OJ. What are you Ozempic? Are you on Ozempic? Are you going down or going up? Hopefully you're going down. Yeah, I agree, Nick. Because a lot of people don't, a lot of people drop it on their thumb and let it drop. I don't do that. I've explained because when I was little, I had an accident and I cut myself. So I learned that on knives that drop really good, it's better to guide it with your finger. So I always guide it past the detent ball, and then I like it to drop closed. But a lot of people just drop it on their thumbnail, and then a lot of people don't do either one of those. They always use their finger to close it like this, and they roll their thumb out of the way. A lot of people go like this and close knives, and I don't think they know anything about drop shut like some of those guys. I don't think it matters to them because they always close it by pressing on it. So I think some of the people that have like Chris Reeves on washers and stuff get used to having to close it like that, or Striders. Striders are the same way. You can't drop shut a Strider hardly. But yeah, I agree, Nick. The way people open and close knives is weird. I mean, it's different to everybody. I just know when I grab it out of my pocket, I normally just use a little bit of, like, just give it a little bit of wrist. If it feels rigid when I just sit here and just don't do anything, like, it feels like I'm having to force it, whereas just naturally I just want to kind of go, I don't know. But like I said, I got it right past the drop point. I mean, the detent ball. Like, the detent ball is locked up and it's on the lock bar, and I can feel that, and then I drop it. Yeah, you finger guy like me, mister? Yeah, it kind of feels technical because you can feel where the detent ball is, and you can get it right past that point and then just let it drop. That's how I do it. To each his own. No way is wrong. I love this little thing still, though. I also had this in my back left pocket. I started to carry this in my front pocket last night. But then I realized I had this in new, and I ought to carry it. Yeah, this one's hydraulic. Like, the same amount that you shake it is the same amount it closes. Like, they meet together. The scales and the blade want to kind of like turn together. That's my favorite kind of drop, is like hydraulic. What I call hydraulic, when both sides kind of go together the same way, just a little tiniest bit of shake. But yeah, I had this in my pocket. I was going to try carrying it again because I saw somebody last night. I think it was, who was it? Was it Bone Collector? Posted, I think that's Mitchell. Posted he got a new Tucson. And it reminded me of how heavy that Tucson was. And so I was like, well, if he can carry that one, I can carry this one. But I think this one outweighs that one by a lot. Thing I don't like about this knife is you can't open it with the thumb stud because it's not really a thumb stud. You can't get enough sideways leverage. But I do like it. Morning, Cliff. It's pretty big. I was going to bust it out, show a size comparison between the Rosie XL and it. It's definitely beefier. Yeah, Cliff. That's kind of why I carried this one last night. Because I used to carry my Cold Steel Espada XL. Like, I've carried large knives. I'm not, but then this last year I've kind of gone through a phase where I like just a perfectly sized knife, like an 8-inch. I don't know, like, it's hard to say. I've changed my likes a little bit, but I used to carry oh, maybe it wasn't you, Christopher. It was last night somebody posted the big Tucson. The one that looks like where you got to access the screws through the scales. I can't remember the number on it. But I said to him, I was like, yeah, that thing weighs a ton, doesn't it? Because when I had it out, I remember how heavy it was. It's this one right here. I forgot the number on it. But this thing weighs 8 ounces. And it doesn't look like it should weigh 8 ounces. And the reason it weighs so much is because they doubled up on everything. So it's got double steel, double titanium. They didn't have to make those as thick as that. The way it's assembled, it's got a big old sandwich. So it feels heavier than it should. I'm not saying it's not comfortable, but I got used to carrying stuff around 5 ounces. And then this one is 8 ounces. And so it kind of made a difference. Is this the 300? TS 567. This looks like the solid, the Wii solid, and the and all his knives. Well, not all his knives, but a lot of GTC's knives. It looks like the solid. Like it kind of looks like a GTC knife. A lot like it. And then I've actually got another Tucson that kind of does that too. It's a gold one I've got. It's that one right there. Different blade shape, but it's got the same kind of grind. Yeah, I think they have a machine that does looks pretty close to the same width, same. You must have a wiener fetish. Yeah, Cliff, the Martin is tiny. I want a Martin XL. I didn't think it looked. What looks like a wiener on this? The blade? I didn't even see that. So you've got to be the one. No, I know, but I'm wondering how I didn't even think it looks like a pecker. I thought it looked like a knife. My mind didn't even go there. I think it looks kind of futuristic, or all the GTCs do. There's lots of solids around, TC. It shouldn't be too hard to find a solid. I've seen them pop up on Knife Swap quite often. Morning, Steve, or whoever. Oh, I guess I already said good morning, Steve. Yeah, I don't know. I see it looks like a futuristic kind of design to me. Oh, I didn't know it was a ongoing thing. I didn't know that the TS 567 was in that category. But it's pretty heavy. What is the TS 300? Do I have one of those? All right. I think I might have a TS300. I got a little video to show y'all. So yesterday I got in that new torch nozzle. And man, it's like night and day difference. I actually got in, I'm gonna build a coffee can forge out of that actual coffee can. And I'm gonna shoot a whole video and do it all in one video to release. Now that I've made one and kind of got the kinks worked out. And so I bought a couple of extra parts to go on the new one to make it professional, since I figured out what I needed. And so I don't know if you know about heat treating a knife. You have to get it where it's non-magnetic. So I bought some of these little magnets that I can attach to the top of the coffee can, just like that one guy did in the video. Man, these are so strong. I can't even get these two apart. I probably got too strong of ones, but it's supposed to be non-magnetic, so it shouldn't matter. But these are little magnets that have a place where you can put a screw in the middle and get them flat, which are pretty cool. So I'm going to put one of these on top of the coffee can, so that way I can touch it to make sure it's non-magnetic when I go heat treating it. Because a lot of times it'll say go one shade past magnetic. And so I got that to put on the top of the can, or the edge of the can. And then I got a handle to mount on the top of it. And I'll just drill holes and put bolts and nuts, not these self-tapping. But I got a handle and a magnet for it. But the new nozzle is amazing. By the way, the detent on this knife is way lighter than this knife, even though it's got two detent balls. And I wish the detent was better on these Rosie XLs. It's fine. It won't shake out when you go to shake it, but it still doesn't feel like proper detent. This one does. This one almost takes some wrist. But yeah, the nozzle for the thing, let me show you how much difference it is. It should heat up in like 5 minutes now, even with regular gas, instead of having to use MAP gas. But here it is right here. Turn off the camera. All right. Well, got something wrong with the sound. Hold on.
Dang. Those nozzles make a huge.
All right. That was crazy. It was coming through the microphone, so give me just a second. All right.
Dang. Those nozzles make a huge difference. This thing is going to heat up in 5 minutes. So yeah, that new nozzle made a huge difference. I've got it hooked up to a little can over here, but it is kicking out some heat. Let me see if I see my thermometer. I don't see it. But you ought to be able to tell how much bigger the flame is. You can see the little flame right there. Let me show you. Turn this down. Like, the size of these flames is no way the same. But yeah, this one's gonna heat up super quickly. I'm not even sure if I've got it up all the way, but it is just cheaping. All right, we'll see Thursday, I guess. See ya.
All right. So yeah, the nozzle makes a huge difference. What are we melting blood for? Yeah, don't be melting blood. So yeah, it should heat up super fast. But like I said, I am gonna make another one, and that was the first one was an alpha. This is gonna be a beta version, and then we'll have a RC1 eventually. The Wee Solid was a knife that I looked at for I waited a long time till I was ready to pay but man, I wanted this knife so bad. And it definitely has those futuristic lines, and I don't know, it reminds me of something you would play, like Cyberpunk game. Looks like a knife you'd pick up in that game. So that new nozzle that I got came with some cool tips. It even came with the little soldering iron tip, which is pretty cool. But it came with let's see, I'll show you the kit I bought. But the brazing tool and stuff that it came with, hold on. All right, where are we at? Dang it. Sometimes I get lost in my OBS. So there's the kit I got, but it comes with the brazing attachment, the big wide attachment to heat up bigger areas, and the little soldering iron attachment. And one of my other favorite things about it is it's got cutoff valves on both ends of the hose. So it's got one up by the tip and it's got one by the bottle. So that way, if something goes wrong up at the tip end, you ain't got to worry about that being the only cutoff. You can cut it off by the bottle also. So I like the fact it's got two of them. And I like the fact that the bottle is remote, way away from the flame. And I've got an adapter that lets me hook up a full-size propane tank to it. I already had the adapter, but yeah, it makes a huge difference. All right, something else. I should be getting quite a few knives in the old mailbox today, including a Tucson, possibly a Laconico, and possibly a Kaiser. So that'll be cool. Yeah. Let's see, I had a link to check out. Oh yeah. I had a question. Do any of y'all have any S125V blades? So it's a very uncommon blade steel. S125V. Knives that have it are usually customs and are super expensive. Um, Cliff, what knife do you have that's 125V? I wanted to look at some. Because I was curious about something. Yellow still addicted. S125V knife. So when you go down through here trying to find knives in that blade steel, there's not many that pop up. And like I said, a lot of them are customs. And they're pretty pricey. Like at least $400 or more. So, yeah, like I said, there's not many of them. Here's another one, $1,500. There's a picture of it. But they're pretty pricey. Yeah, Michael, that's what I'm getting to. So what do y'all think the likelihood is that this knife by Sativian is actually real S125V? I'll give you a hint. The price on it is $140. So knowing what I know about Sativian, I think it's priced correctly for them if they were able to get a hold of some of that steel. That's the big question. And I want somebody to buy this like Lefty or somebody and do a steel test on it. Because if it is $140 S125V knife, it might be one of the best values around. Nick, the reason I'm asking about this specific knife is because I know the new clones that we get have real blade steel. They get tested. But Sativian has been known to mislabel their stuff. There are a few clone makers who now have been tested enough still addicted. They used to lie about it a bunch. So Efengro and Sativian were both known for lying about their D2 steel and their M390, or not M390, but mainly their D2 steel. So Lefty did a bunch of videos sending them in for tests to show that they were lying about what they were marking their blades. That was with Efengro and Sativian. So Sativian's known for that in the past. That's the only reason I would question this one. But like I said, the cheapest knife that you can find in S125V is around $400, and I went and looked pretty heavily. I did quite a bit of searching, and a lot of them were a lot more than that, $3,000, and it was back when D2 started. It was about 4 years ago. It was back when D2 first started popping up on some of their knives, and they were still using like 9CR and 10CR. Let me see if I can find a video real fast. Sativian steel test. let's see. Knife steel test video. There's a LTK used to do them in batches. I said lefty, I meant LTK.
Welcome to Love Them Knives channel. LTK with you. Batch 11 of our knife testing, steel verification and testing episodes. So we've had one.
So they started cleaning up their game
11,
when they got called.
12 and 13 are still.
That's why I've said a lot of times that a lot of these new clone makers, they don't want to get caught again because of these videos that caught them being liars. And we're not going to watch this whole thing, but we will look at the tests here, the results.
And then this thing, but in actual printout, right. Vespa Ripper OTF. This is our last one, and I'm not going to go into the slideshow and show you the actual blade under the HRC.
But we'll go through and I'll show you each one. Oh, here you go, right here.
Knives that he gets tested, and there are some other reviewers that have knives that.
So, Tucson is in this one.
Get tested as well, and they
and he has the hardness testing, and then he has he has a sheet that has them whether it passed or failed. Yeah, let's see. So that's real M390.
Have M390 in their software, but we get it through comparison of a legit M390, and
that's Benchmade or Spyderco.
There it is.
Benchmade.
And then I sent it in for it's 60 to 62 D2 because they use it in their manufacturing process there.
So that's real D2.
D2. And of course, this gun does detect D2 because they use it in their manufacturing. It's in that zone.
Oh, here we go.
57.
8CR.
Bit. Let me see.
Why is it flashing?
Yeah, I'd say that it's in that zone, 56 to 59 on there.
Trying to see who failed.
You know, I mean.
But he's got a bunch of, as you can see, this is batch 11.
Oh, my lights.
So VV's got real, but this was 6 years ago. He has a link to a spreadsheet. Aha. Thank you, Pete. I didn't even see that. Good grief. That would have saved us a lot of trouble. So down here. Wow. He's done a lot of knives. There's Efengro. The red, look. So Efengro failed 5 tests in a row. It was supposed to be D2, and it was 5CR and 8CR and 440. Still addicted. But they got caught. They got caught doing this, like Efengro did. Gonzo. Let's see. Let's look for the red. Y Start. Efengro. Clone Loveless. CH Clone Knife. HX Outdoors Mercenaries. Said it was D2 and it was HCR. Y Start. Now here's some more Efengros, some of the newer ones, and they said D2 and tested as D2. So that's good to see that they stepped up their game. Olitans failed one. Efengro has passed a bunch though. We could sort by brand. But anyway, nowadays, you kind of have to go by price on some of the vendors still. If they say real in the title, it's probably real. But if it's marked with that, then it might not be. Because there's a lot of M390 knives that aren't real. and you can look at the price and tell. Like this one says M390, and it is not M390 for 88 bucks. Yeah, and I've shown that they've really addressed that. Whoops, hold on. They've addressed the heat treat more than anything, in my opinion, because they've gotten their steel down. Yeah, I'm trying to. Still addicted? Is this your video? No, that's a Buckeye Knives guy. I wonder if he doesn't have a link, does he? It's sold out, so you can't find it when you go to the website. But if you got a link, you can click on it. Dang it! Let me grab the link from my other real account. But what I was going to show you, even with the. He probably does it with, hang it, hold on. I'm almost there. All right, Protean Strix. Here's the Strix link. So right here, they've got a picture that shows the Strix blades in their cryo heat treat. So that they've got it down to where they can do it in batches now and get it dialed in with a machine where I don't doubt the heat treat either nowadays on some of these better ones. You know, they make it a point to show these actual blades before they're sharpened, laying in the machine or whatever, you know, laying in the tray for whatever process they go through. But they show these pictures a lot nowadays, so the heat treat is something they're addressing now. Oh yeah, Nick, it's 154 cm. Yeah, the new Rosie XLs are 154 cm. Sorry, Nick, I didn't know that's what you were asking. So they're 60 plus HRC 154 cm. Yeah, and with a 60 plus HRC, it should last a long time. The first versions were D2. So the other one I showed was D2, but this one's 154. This is 154. The Strix is 154 seems to be like what they're going to instead of VG10, because people don't like VG10. I mean, VG10's a great steel, but people see the name. Yeah, I love 154 too. It's one of my favorite. Besides M390, it's my budget steel of choice. Yeah, Michael, the OK Knives guy is really good about telling you what the real steel is. I've got a note that I sent the guy. Here, let me show y'all. So I asked him about that specific question because, you know, like there was a knife that was too good to be true. So it was like 88 bucks or 90 bucks. And whoops, he said this. So I asked him right here. I said, what is the real blade steel on this knife, 14C28N? And he said, no, genuine VG10. So this is for that CH knives that's marked M390. Pretty sure. But they'll be honest with you. A lot of them will. Mister, I agree with what you're saying, except that, like I said, they're being tested. They're getting over here. There's people with Rockwell machines, and there's people with mass spectrometers that can do the metallurgy test, and they're getting tested. So they're kind of having to be honest. They're being held to the fire. But like I've showed, the winter pudding hardness test, it was the M390. Let's see if I can find it. But they're all getting tested. Yeah. I don't remember what the actual. It's the factor. Oh, here we go. So here's the M390 OK Knives testing with the gun. Those guns cost as much as a car. So there's more people that have access to these guns now. And there's people with Rockwell testers all over the place. And the M390, yeah, here it is. The VG10 turned out right. And let's see, HRC. M390, best deck. Anyway, they're getting tested. So that's why I trust them more nowadays. But that S125V for $140, that would be a heck of a deal if it's heat treated properly. I said if. Yeah, I'll get another one eventually, TC. I just haven't found the right one yet. I still check eBay occasionally for Rockwell testers. If I can find, I'm trying to find one that I can drive and pick up, because the freight on them is like $500. So, like, if I could find one of these for $500 that I could drive to, I would actually get one. Not like this, but one of the, I actually want a, right here, let's see, Yeah, HR 150A is what I want. Just because there's lots of them out there and you can find used ones. See, $890 delivery charge. Like the freight on these is ridiculous because it's got 150 pounds of weight in it. So the way they work is they have weights hanging in the back of them. And that's how they're calibrated and how they put the little divot in the blade from that weight. But the HR 150A is the one I want to try to get. Yes, Nick. Tomorrow I should get a lot done. Tomorrow's my only day off, and I should finish up tomorrow and have everything in good workstations. I'm hoping to make a better place to film with that stuff too. So yeah, hopefully that'll work out well. I'm gonna try to be able to film some stuff. What are we talking about in the channel? Who's making knives in China? I totally missed the whole conversation, I guess. Don't be sorry, Nick. Ask whatever you want, man. It's part of the show, part of us talking. Is this thing ever going to fail? Why am I drawing a blank on what JWK is? John Wayne Knives? I didn't know John Wayne made a knife. John Wayne Knives. Oh, Jack Wolf. Thank you. Yeah, they got to be made in China, right? I said John Wayne Knives. The prices he charges, they got to be made in China. Pretty much, don't they? Am I the only one that doesn't think they're made in China? I mean, does everybody else think? I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I would just assume they were. What is the 300? Let's see. Tucson TS 300. Okay. I do not think I have one of those. Oh, okay. I didn't know what they were talking about. Thanks for filling me in, guys. I wasn't paying it. I can't look at the chat constantly. What did I buy? What is the Tucson that's supposed to be delivered today? I don't even remember what I bought. I bought a Kaiser from Wayne's Sharp World. Did I tell y'all that? I don't know if I told you or not, but I think it's the second knife I bought from him. Well, I know it's the second knife I bought from him. I bought Bought a Kaiser Huntsman from him. Because yeah. Yeah, I will yeah, I looked at it, he was standing next to me. Did you see the video, Still Addicted, where I'm at Blade Show? Is that John? Yeah, we're looking at that knife and he's talking about it. Yeah, I definitely want one too. Still Addicted. Which Tucson did I buy this week? Heck, I don't know. I can't find it now. Oh. TS 270. TS 270. That's what I bought. That's what should show up today. Why did I buy a 270? I got the M390 version. Do I already have a 270? Did I just buy a knife I've already got? That would be no good. I don't think I have a 270. But I've been known to buy a couple repeat Tucsons. Let's see, what is that one? That one's a new one. Uh-oh. I lied about the 300, I think. Is that the TS 300? I think that's a 300, so I might have a 270 too. That's terrible. That's that one Panarin Designs made, I believe. What is the... Well, I don't see it yet, so that's a good sign. I might not have doubled up and bought a duplicate. I think that's one of the ones I didn't think I owned. I think Ed showed that one. I think that's one I didn't realize I had. What is this one? That's the one Sever gave me, I do believe. I do believe. Uh-oh. Oh, there's another one that kind of looks like that, the one Michael thought looked like. Yeah, that one kind of looks like. That's one of my favorites. TS 430, I think it is. Still going. Oh, that's that weird one that looks like the bowhead. This is another one that I swear I didn't own. I need to go through my Tucsons again sometime to make sure I don't buy duplicates. But where's... I don't think... I'm almost through. And I haven't found that 270 yet. So maybe I didn't buy one that I already had. Nope. I ain't got it. I got a bunch more. What's going on? Doobie, best OEM? You got my vote, Pete. I love Kubies. I got a video saying that the Titius could have been the best value knife out there when they had the $67 titanium ones at White Mountain Knives. For $67.50, you could get a full titanium Titius. And that was my pick for best value knife ever. TS 560? Don't know. Probably, but I can't guarantee it. I've looked at most all Tucson's. Carbon fiber, not my thing. Ooh, recurve, not my thing. I have not seen that one. Yeah, that's not, I don't like the recurve. I don't think I've seen that knife at all, though. It's a Rye design, too, huh? Cool looking knife. It's not my style. Yeah, diamond cut steel. I definitely thought it was the best value for $67.50. Does it have the same recurve and stuff? Morning, John. This one looks a lot like the Folklore then to you. Oh, I love the Titius. One of my favorites. Like, it'll continue to be one of my favorites. Once I got mine tuned in. Yeah, I got a Nova around that same price too at that time. This is the TS 433, no, 144. I'm going to put some of these up together where they kind of go so I don't buy duplicates. Don't buy duplicates, kids. On accident, because you got too many. We'll go with milling patterns first. I would have sworn I didn't have the 300. That is the 300, right? Anno, this one? The Panarin Designs one? Okay. I can do that, Pete. Yeah, I got the Drake. I got the M390 Drake. You had to get the purple one to get the M390. I wanted the titanium one, but I didn't even know I don't think I knew they made a S90V one. I got one. I don't even know where the other ones are. Two, three. I got three. I had four, but I gave one to Paul. I sold one to Paul. But I think I got both of these for the 6750. The gold one was one of the last ones they had available. They just have perfect action. But yeah, the Drake is one of my favorites. But the purple one's the only one that comes in M390. Says it somewhere on here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Says it right up there. I love the Drake though, and I love M390 blade steel, so I didn't mind having this one in the purple. Yeah, the Supercell is a great one, and so is the Blackout. The Interceptor's another one that you got slept on. Yes, John, I do, sir. That's another banger. Supercell. Blackout. Hamster. Atlas. Silo. Whatever it is. How's the ergos? Like a big something obscene knife? I don't know. Let's get it out and look at it. Put up some of these fine quality Kubies. Yeah, the Bluff. Thank you, Pete. I still love this one. From your boys. Yeah, I'm not a fan of DLC either, really. Perfect action on both of those. All right, LEK. So I got to anodize that one, huh, Pete? What color? A high voltage green? A Royale with cheese? You sure you don't want a quarter pounder? All right, I moved knives around last week. Ergos on it. I mean, do they only make a chisel grind one? Or do they make a regular grind? This one does have a chisel grind. The ergos Feel really good, actually. Feels really comfortable in the hand. I got big hands, you know, and my pinky slides barely off the end of that. Ergo's on it, and it feels good right there. It feels really good right there. It's got that flat, and it's got jimping, and it actually feels really good right there. I don't think I've ever felt it there. I didn't realize it had all that jimping, but man, it really feels locked in there. You say next to the Django? I'm just kidding. How about next to the Django XL? I hate when my blades have... They're not scratches. They're little oil marks. It's a cool knife. It's very comfortable right there on that jimping, though. And man, you could put in some work with this chisel ground blade. Like, I feel like I could be super precise using that. Huh. I did not realize that it had that. You can tell I've not carried it. Yeah, this is an XL. If you want to see it next to something else you got, there's a Vero Nova and a Griffin Scout 3.5. So that should give you something. And a Berg Blades Tick. And a J-Cape 3.5. And the Riot Tiger. Tiger's bigger than all of them. And the Riot Zorro, about the same size as most of those. Dang, man. Time is creeping by today on Titanium Tuesday. Y'all drop a like if you haven't. Please, sirs. Let's double tap that screen. Tappity tap tap. I think most all these knives are knives I'll never get rid of. And right beside them is a Tucson. That I probably like just as much. An $80 Tucson. American Gangster was a good movie. We're talking about movies now. Y'all got to give me knives to talk about instead of movies. All right. Let's see. We'll go back to Firefox and check out knife swap this morning. See if there's anything, since y'all ain't giving me nothing to talk about. Let's see, blah 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 blah. Knife swap. What do we got here? Severn, $275 for the Severn. Oh, no wonder. What is that color? Why? Why did they do that? Oh, here's a blue aluminum one. That one's better. Still, why? Both gross. Little Civivi Buster FG, the updated version, and an extra large Corvid. Alrighty then. 4.2, 180. I like that one. I like that one a lot. See you later, Nick. I'll click that Instagram link Nick sent. That looks a lot like that little knife we looked at yesterday with the coffin shape handle. Except these are all made out of something weird. Polymer, plastic? Not sure. Man, I really like that knife. I've been wanting a Bradford after seeing Pete's. Made me want one even more. Do they really have those screws on them? Yep, they do. Good morning, Robin. Is that one sold yet? Nope. What do they cost brand new? $4.2, $249, $269. Black micarta, $269. All right, so $180. First owner. He said he paid $269 and $45 for the Kydex sheath. Carried cut used. Hair popping sharp. The blade finish lasted pretty good. If he's used it. Huh. Oh well. Benchmade mini Adamas. This one's sold already. I'm trying to buy this knife, but he won't give me a deal on it yet. I want this Ferrum Forge right there. Third one from the right. Oh yeah, he put that mirror polish on it, yeah. I want that third one from the right there, but he won't give me the deal I want yet. So none of y'all bid on it, and maybe later today he'll give it to me for what I want to pay. It's right here though. Yeah, I want that one. Another Ferrum Forge I didn't know about, but I guarantee you that thing is super comfortable. Y'all gonna have to give me just a second. I gotta go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Yeah, the old prostate just ain't what it used to be. I remember the first time I really felt like I was getting old was when I had to wake up in the middle of sleep to go use the bathroom. That that makes you feel old real quick. So yeah, that kind of looks like a cross between I'll show you what that looks like. It looks like a cross between, dang it, where are you, Knives? Looks like a cross between this, which is a Ferrum Forge, and it looks like a cross between that and this. Those are both Ferrum Forge. And they both have that big finger choil. And it looks like a cross between those two. It's got the little top of the blade like this one does. And it's got the finger choils like both of them do. And man, that finger choil makes these knives so comfortable. Like even this little one, I can get 4 fingers on comfortably. This thing's tiny. Ferrum Forge definitely has their own style. I love my Archbishop with the flipper tab delete. I love the lines on it. But that looks a lot like that. I mean, you can see the influence, definitely see the influences between that one and that one. And then even this one, you can see a lot of the influences of that one too. That one has a little bit different blade. Yeah, I mirror polished this one. I got to finish it up. It's still got a couple of little spots, but I bead blasted and mirror polished that one. Morning. If I didn't say good morning, Tegan, good morning, sir. All right, now I got to put these knives up in the order they go, because I had just sorted all my stuff. I know my J cape goes next to the mini J cape, and the let goes next to it. And then all three of these go together. The Nova, the Tick, and the Scout. And then the rest of these I got to keep out. Morning, Wicked Dream Designs. I popped up a mirror polish blade on stream and you just appeared. You've been doing so many for John that when I popped up a mirror polish blade, it summoned you. Hey, there's the camera. All right. Fellas, I think we're going to start winding this one down. Oh, thank you, sir. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but thank you. So yeah, Titanium Tuesday. If you don't have something titanium in your pocket, change that. I happen to. Yeah, I love my Archbishop. Super comfortable knife. Getting your nachos ready for the game, huh? Oh, man. Oh, you got you an M390 Shaman today and your Thunderhead? Nice work, man. I would love to have an M390 Shaman. If you ever sell that, hit me up. I might be your Huckleberry. I'm super impressed by that torch though. Like we should very easily get up to temperature now. I'm still tripping kind of at how strong it is compared to the other one. I mean, I knew they made different size torches and stuff. It's not like I'm ignorant of that, but I just didn't realize the one that I had was so little output. See you later, Michael. About to head out myself, so. Yeah, I just can't believe how much heat.
Those nozzles make a huge difference. This thing is going to heat up in 5 minutes. So yeah, that new nozzle made a
huge difference. Just like, oh yeah, it's a huge difference, Robin.
Huge difference. I've got it hooked up to a little can over here, but
yeah, the difference in the flames.
It is kicking out some heat. Let me see if I see my.
Right here is the difference.
Let me show you. Turn this down. Like the size of these flames is no way the same. But yeah, this one's going to heat up super quickly. I'm not even sure if I've got it up all the way, but it is just cheaping. All right, we'll see.
But anyway, I guess we'll see Thursday. Anyway, I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great Tuesday. I'm going to continue to sort and clean things and try to create stations where I can work better. I will do that tomorrow on my day off and probably finish up on Thursday. I think Riot is the best OEM. TC, have a good day, sir. Robin, Tegan, Christopher, Wicked Dream Design, Steve, John, Michael. Hope y'all have a great day. If you can't be good at it.